Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. Today we're going to be talking about my top 10 favorite cheek products. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. This video is going to be my top 10 favorites. Blushes, bronzers, and highlights. Anything that goes into this like cheek area, you could say. So that's what I have for you today. This is part of my July series that I'm doing at the minute, where I'm trying to share with you my holy grail, the best of the best. I have repurchased these, or I have multiple colors, or I would repurchase these if I got the chance and I use these up kind of things. So these are the best of the best, my holy grails. These are the things that I think are some of the best things. And I do have to apologize. One of the products in here is no longer available, but I love it that much that I had to share. I just had to share. Let's get to these 10 products. So this video is going to be very blush heavy because I feel I just have more recommendations there. For bronzer, I have my favorites. I like so many things, but I was like, you know what? I just want to do a powder and a stick just to have something like cream based and something powder based as a recommendation. And for my powder bronzer, it doesn't get any better than the bronzer I've hit pan on and that I'm currently trying to use up. I'm not in any hurry to use it up because this was discontinued. This is that discontinued bronzer. It's by Becca. It's the Sunlit bronzer in Bali Sands. You can see the nice big dent I have in this. It's absolutely gorgeous. It has a little bit of shine to it. If you want something that's similar, that's still available, then the Soap & Glory Solar Powder Bronzer in the shade Light is pretty similar to this. At least I feel I get a very similar effect on the face. That you can still buy. That one I rate really highly. But I was like, you know what? I've hit pan on this thing. I will be using it up at some point. And then we're going to have a nice little funeral for my Becca Bali Sands, because this is still such a good bronzer till this day. And then for a cream version, I wasn't really sure. So many brands have brought out cream and liquid products in the bronzer and contour category that I think are really good, but a lot of those are quite new to me. And I'm like, no, I really want this to be like my top favorite things that I think of. And the first thing I think of when I think of my cream bronzer collection is my little Kiko stick. This is technically a contour. It's the Sculpting Touch Creamy Stick Contour in shade 200. Here's what she looks like. And I love this thing to absolute bits. It's one of the best bronzers for my collection, and it has been a recommendation of mine, especially for people with fair skin and a cool to neutral undertone like myself, to try things that brands call contours as a bronzer, because very often those will have the undertones you need. Most bronzers on me are far too orange heavy and they don't look right, but that bronzer looks absolutely stunning on my complexion. And then for highlight, I'm going to be super boring. I don't really have any cream or liquid highlighters that really make me go like, ooh, yeah, that's a holy grail. And I have to be very honest, but these two, like, if I look at my entire highlighter collection, I ask myself, okay, so what's the cream of the crop? What's the best highlighter that you have in your collection? And it would be these two. First things first, an affordable option, the Space Glam from Catrice. Not sure they still do this. I didn't check. I hope they still do. It's the multi-chrome highlighter at the drugstore that is less intense. Do you see that dent? Do you? Yeah, that's what I mean. I have plenty of other highlighters that I have hit pan on, but I'm showing you something else instead of those. But this is a really good contender. If they still do this by the time I run out of this, maybe I should just buy a backup if they still do it right now, because I would miss this in my collection. Because with a lot of multi-chrome highlighters, I feel that they have too much of a base layer. So when I put them on my cheeks, and you turn your face this way and that way, there's too much base to it, so you get this really dark streak. This one doesn't. This one doesn't have that. This has this really beautiful transparent base to it that just looks so beautiful. And therefore, I think this Space Glam highlighter by Catrice is one of the best things they've ever done that I have in my makeup collection when it comes to highlight. You can make this part of an eye look as well. So for me, I find that it looks really nice and ethereal on the cheeks when I wear it. This is so beautiful in low level lighting. And finally, for highlighter, I have my Fenty Beauty Demi Glow in Pretty Purlz. This is quite a recent find. It was something I tried in 2025 for the first time, but it sort of is a placeholder for Fenty Beauty as my go-to brand for highlighter, because when I came to think about it, I have hit pan in both shades of my Kilowatt highlighter in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. I really, really enjoy my Fenty Beauty highlighter, the Diamond Bomb one in How Many Carats. Like, Fenty Beauty and me and highlighter, we tend to love each other quite a bit. And when I tried this, I was instantly in love with it. I was like, yes, this is exactly what I needed from Fenty, because one of the things about my Kilowatt highlighter that I was like, you know what, Lightning Dust is sometimes too subtle, Fire Crystal is sometimes too intense. I need something that has a similar shade, but that's in between them in terms of level of shimmer, like the amount of glow that it gives. And they did it. They did it. They did it in Pretty Purlz, and I just think that this is such a beautiful highlighter. This looks darker in the pan than it does once it goes into the cheeks. That's something you do need to bear in mind. Again, it's the Demi Glow. It's a very soft, smooth highlighter that has glow, a little bit of sparkle, but it's not too apparent, and it's really sort of, it's soft focus and vibrant at the same time. I can't explain it, but this is such a beautiful highlighter, and I'm really glad I finally got my hands on it. So I had to feature it here, but yeah. Maybe I'm just going to like declutter my Kilowatt at some point and then just keep this one, because this is sort of like the best of both worlds that one has to offer. But then again, I did hit pan on those two, so maybe I should try and use those up at some point. Who knows? Are you ready for the blushes? Because I have too many. I've got 2 powder recommendations for you. And I was like, you know what? What are some long-standing favorite powder formulas that I have multiples by that you can still buy? Because I have quite a few that are no longer available. But I was like, Hourglass. This is such a vibe. I have 3 shades. I have Mood Exposure. I have, what's the other one? Do I still have Incandescent Electra? No, at some point I had Incandescent Electra, and this is Diffused Heat. And I really love Diffused Heat, especially for the summertime. I'm actually playing with thinking of putting this in a Shop My Stash over the summertime as well. This is really nice reddish tone, but it's not too vibrant of a red. Like, I have other red blushes. In fact, I'm wearing something a little bit more red watermelon based today. Really beautiful, but there's just something about these Hourglass blushes for me that just make them a go-to. It's the formula, it's the way they look on the skin, it's never too much, I can build them up, they always look good. And if that's the case, like again, these take years to use up because I haven't purchased one of these Hourglass blushes in years. Like, I think the last time I bought one was like 2019 when I was in New York. And then I already owned my Mood Exposure and Diffused Heat for a couple of years when I bought Incandescent Electra. Yeah, these are just really good ones. If I would run out, I would probably repurchase them in a heartbeat. These are some of the best blushes till this day, in my opinion. And then this blush has been in my makeup collection for a long time, but I only came to the realization how much I like the M Cosmetics Heaven's Glow blushes. This is in the shade Magic Hour. I only realized it recently. This was the first one I got. It's this really nice soft peachy pink, and in this lighting I think you can see how it has this really nice sort of cool toned pinky flash to it. With peach, I often struggle with wearing it, and this is like the peach sort of shade that works for me. I also have this in Venetian Rose and in Baroque, I never know how to say it. And they are just absolutely beautiful. These are also sort of like a baked blush formula, and they just go on super smoothly, very ethereal on the skin. They have a bit of glow, but it never looks like too much, and that's just something I really, really enjoy about these M Cosmetics powder bronzers. And that's such a strange thing for me, because I also have some of their liquids, and those I like as well, but it's the powder bronzers that I tend to reach for the most in my makeup collection. And I have gotten more into liquid and cream blushes over the years, so that's why there are going to be some liquid and cream recommendations coming up next. But for powders, this in the past year or two has really sort of risen in esteem in my makeup collection, so that's why I had to feature it here. As I mentioned, we have some creams and liquids to talk about. Let's talk creams. The Fui pudding pots, the blurry pudding pots. You can put them on your lips, you can put them on your cheeks. I'm pretty sure they can work anywhere else on the face. I just took 2 shades up here. This is D-Day and Film, but I also have Slay and STH. These come in different color families. They are this moussey textured, bouncy sort of blush. They sort of remind me of an updated version of the Dream Matte Mousse. Who remembers those from Maybelline? I had those years ago. But these have really nice heavy glass packaging. These feel great. They are best applied with fingers, I have to say. Just tap some on, rub your fingers together and like dab, dab, dab. That's the best way. Not all of the shades that I have are that distinct once they go onto the skin. So there's definitely that. But formula-wise and the way these look on the skin, they can't be beat. I know with creams and liquids, people sometimes struggle more so than with powders, how long they last on their cheeks. I have dry skin, so it's not that much of an issue for me, but these do dry down. So if you want a cream blush that sort of settles down as more of like a matte sort of finish once it's done settling into the skin, then these can be really nice. And I think there are like 30 shades of these. So there's going to be something for everyone in this line, I find. And if you can get them on sale, they don't have to be that expensive. I believe full price is like 15 a pop, but you can get them for as little as 10 I have seen. So the Fui pudding pots are really nice. Liquid blushes. I've got my Rare Beauty up here. This is in the shade Encourage. I also have Hope, which I really enjoy. This is one of the best liquid blushes I feel on the market. They are super pigmented though. You only need a little bit at the time and you get heaps of product. So up front, 30, I think these retail for around 30 euros. That might seem like a lot of money, but this comes with, it's 7.5 milliliters, but milliliters. So I feel like it's just so much product. I feel most liquid products only come with like 2 to 3 milliliters, but this comes with like double the amount. So you just get so much bang for your buck. This is a lovely, lovely product. You can also get them in the mini sizes if you're unsure. I believe they now do the entire range as mini sizes, especially around the summertime. So if you don't want to commit to the full size, I'm sure you can try the mini. These are really long lasting as well, especially for a liquid blush. This blush range does come in matte and dewy formulas. Not every single shade is created equally in this line. Hope and Encourage are both part of the dewy range, but I used to own Grace, which was one of the matte shades, and those dry down super quickly. You have very little time to actually apply it, and it's like a race against time to try and blend it in. With these, you don't have that issue, but after a little while, they do settle down and they just won't budge, which I love, but they still have that glow to them. And Encourage, which I'm holding here, is one of the best mauve tones I have in my makeup collection. It is quite warm, though. It's not a cool tone mauve. And where would we be without some more affordable options as well? The Juicy Pang blusher from Apieu. We all know I love this thing to pieces. This is really pretty. This is in the shade Strawberry. They have a little nail polish sort of thing going on with these, like a little brush. You can just wipe it on. This doesn't come with heaps of product. It says 9 grams. I don't know how many milliliters this is. But this is a really lovely thing. They have quite a few shades. I have the 4 shades I like. I have Cherry, Strawberry, that's this one, Raspberry, and Guava. They all do a slightly different thing, but for some reason, Strawberry is the best shade for me in the summertime. It's just like, it's not quite coral, it's not quite peach, and it's not quite pink, yet it's all 3 of those things. And that's why it works. So if I want to go for that vibe, and these again, super thin, you can layer these into the high heavens and it's never going to look like too much, unlike the Rare Beauty, which is incredibly pigmented. But yeah, this is such a beautiful little blush thing, and I do really enjoy that. And then we have, finally, the MUA Blushed Liquid Blush in Dusky Rose. Again, a product I have multiples of. I have tried other shades as well that I didn't like as much, which I ended up decluttering. I love Rouge Noir from this range. I recently bought Black Currant. I think I've tried like Razzleberry, and there's this melon shade. Like, they do so many. There's apparently also shimmering versions of these now. I haven't been to the UK in a while, or at least I didn't go to a place in the UK where I could find them. But this is so, so wonderful. I really like these. They are dupes for the Glossier Cloud Paints, and these are under £3 in Superdrug in the UK drugstore. I can sometimes link to them online as well, but I can only find them in Europe. I haven't been able to find them in the US, but this is cheap as chips. They're incredibly good. So many wonderful shades, and I actually like the shade range of the drugstore version better than I do of the high-end Glossier one, just so you know. So yeah, this is a holy grail for sure. Again, slightly dewy, yet long wearing, very pigmented as well. With these, you only need a little bit to make it work. You get 10 milliliters of product. So again, this is going to last you a lifetime. Those were the products I wanted to share with you today in my little continuation of my top 10 series, my Holy Grail cheek products. So let me know in a comment down below what your Holy Grail cheek products are. I would love to know. In case you're looking for swatches or you want to see reviews, those will be linked in the description box down below, because I have dedicated reviews up for all of these products, and I will also have some shopping links down there, so that if you want to purchase any of these, then you can, and I could make a small commission if you do choose to shop any of those links. So thanks so much for watching me today. Thumbs up this video if you liked it, and I hope to see you again really, really soon in a new video. Bye bye.